Hello, and welcome to this Resuscitation Service User Guide video on how to access and use the Gather audit system for performing both the daily and weekly cardiac arrest trolley checks. This video will demonstrate how to access the Gather system using the sheets that you will find attached to your cardiac arrest trolley, how to document when checks have been completed, and finally, we will look at the Gather system itself to demonstrate how to complete the checklist. Attached to the side of your trolley, you will find 4 documents. The first document we will look at is the supplied QR codes for accessing the Gather system. You will find 2 separate QR codes present. The first is for the daily trolley check, and the second is for the weekly check. The QR codes can be scanned from any internet-connected device to access the Gather checklists. Access to the Gather checklists can also be found on the clock tower by accessing the Clinical Systems A to Z link and opening up the Emergency Equipment Checklist page. The next document we will look at is the Process Observation Board. As you will see, the QR codes are also included in this sheet and can be used to access the Gather checklist. This checklist is to be used to document the location of the trolley, the week commencing, and can be signed and dated when the checks have been completed. For example, the daily check should be signed for in all 7 boxes. The weekly checklist section can be used to date when the weekly check is due and signed for by the member of staff completing the check. This can then be cleaned and reused. The next 2 documents you will find attached contain instructions on the emergency equipment checks, such as how often they should be performed, where the checks are documented, information regarding auditing, and where consumables can be replaced from. The next document contains further information on where stock replacements can be sourced, and also included are various order codes if replacing via supply chain. You will also find information on where more specialist equipment can be found. We will now look at the Gather checklist system. Starting with the daily checks, once you have scanned the QR code, you will see the following page displayed. Please ensure you enter the date, location, and name of the person completing the check. You can begin typing your location or select the drop-down box as displayed to enter this. When completing the checklist, please ensure that each section is completed and that the checks are accurate. You can finish the sections as shown here. If there are any comments that you wish to add, you can include these in the displayed comment boxes. Once completed, please ensure you have selected the Submit button. To access the Gather checklist for the weekly checks, please scan the QR code. Once on the Gather checklist page, as with the daily checks, please select the date and location of where the check is being undertaken, and please include the name of the staff member completing the check. Please work your way through the checklist, ensuring that all the equipment is present in the correct quantities. Please ensure all equipment is present, intact, and in date. Missing or expired items should be replaced immediately at the time of check. The Gather Weekly checklist is laid out in the A to E order you will find your trolley in. The first section is the airway breathing or AB draw. The second section is the cannulation or C draw. The third section is the drugs or D draw. Please ensure that if any medications are needed or found to be expired, that these are replaced immediately. Replacements can be sourced from pharmacy distribution or out of hours, the emergency pharmacy cupboard located on level 2. The keys for access can be signed out from switchboard and returned once accessed. The final section relates to the bottom, or E drawer. Once the check is completed, please seal the trolley using the red security tags found in the bottom drawers. If replacement tags are needed, these can be sourced from ICU. Once the weekly checklist has been completed, please ensure that it is submitted for auditing. Thank you for watching this Resuscitation Service User Guide video on accessing and completing the daily and weekly gather checklists for your cardiac arrest trolleys.